Help us reach 55,000 subscribers by commenting, liking, and subscribing. It'll enter you to win this Whatnot variant. Let's talk about more hot comics. We got the Golden Age Guru in the house. Another week, even more record breakers that we got to talk about. So I got an Overstreet Price Guide advisor here. We have the Golden Age Guru on the mic.
Oh, so happy to be here, man. I just did that Hot 10 with you, and I'm excited for these runner-ups, guys, because they're just as freaking awesome as those Hot 10.
Hit the subscribe, slap the like. Gem Min will be back next week, no worries. And at the list, at number 10, we have Swamp Thing, number 1. The first appearance in a solo title of the Swamp Thing.
And origin, and cover done by Bernie Wrightson.
Woo!
Just an amazing book to have. Great color scheme, great layout. Love this book.
An affordable comic book key, don't you think?
Very, very affordable DC key here, guys. At 9.4 just sold in July of last year for $775. And now we're seeing a 48% increase of $1,150.
Seems like a good deal to me and a safe bet, especially considering the endless amount of rumors as it pertains to like the supernatural in the DC universe and what is to be expected to hit HBO Max in the near future. At the list at number 9, we have one of my all-time favorite comic books. We have The Crow, numero uno.
Love this book. Huge key. Printed on crappiest paper possible. It is a gift if you have this thing in high grade.
If you love independent books, if you love scarce books, renowned books, this is one to own and one that's going to keep creeping up as other fan favorite indie books do the same, like TMNT, Usagi Yojimbo. We have a 9.2 prior record set in November selling for $1,300, up $450 this week, selling for an increase of 35%, $1,750. Next at the list, at number 8, Avengers number 11. We have a crossover, Spider-Man and the Avengers, but most importantly here, we have the second appearance of Kang the Conqueror.
Oh man, I love this book. I love the green cover. I love the spider web on it. All right, clearly Spider-Man's on the cover. We all love crossovers with Spider-Man. All right, we love DD16 with the crossover. Strange Tales Annual 2, a little more obscure, but a really tough book. Okay, and we just saw Kang appear for the very first time in Avengers 8. All right, guys, Kang is going to be back, and he's been used ever since Avengers 8. So we know he's very important. This is a big key.
A 9.2, going for $1,295 back in 2016. High grades of this book don't come up often. That's why we saw an increase of 51%, selling for $1,951, an increase of over $650. Hot damn. Next on the list at number 7, an iconic cover by Marie Severin. A classic battle between the Hulk and the Silver Surfer. We have Tales to Astonish, issue number 93.
This is an extremely memorable Silver Surfer cover.
He's hanging on, to that board. He can barely do it.
It's as big as life as you can get for any Silver Surfer cover that we know of in this time frame, or really any.
We have crossovers that are spiking across the board. How about a Hulk Silver Surfer crossover? We know that we're going to be seeing Stan Lee's favorite superhero on the screen soon.
This copy of 9.2 sold for $1,200 in May of 2021. We now just saw it sell for $2,000. That's 67% more than the previous sale.
That's an increase of 800 bones, comic fam. If you like this video, these single price record breakers, know that there's not just 10 that happened this week. There are multiple record breakers over on the best comic app in existence, Key Collector Comics, available for both iOS and Androids. Use code TOM101, support what we do, get access to the app in its entirety, get access to suggested pricing, catalog your comic books, figure out approximately what your collection's worth, and stay up on the marketplace. The runners up list has many more record breakers listed there than what we can cover in our video. And at the list at number 6, we got some gold.
Oh, we're talking about some horror too. Haunt of Fear number 16. Like, listen, this came out in 1950. All EC books have been spiking obscenely.
Why is that?
They had the best artwork. They had the best stories. They were the most published, so there are a lot out there. So they sat very low in price in relativity to what they really are.
Do you think that they're undervalued in the market, or at least were?
They were undervalued, and now that they're being absorbed and appreciated again to the extent that they were appreciated in the 50s, we're seeing these books severely spike.
We have the first appearance of the Old Witch. This is a horror anthology, and she is one of the hosts.
Yeah, she's very much just the crypt keeper for this title. That's exactly what she is. And this is issue 16. Now, don't get confused, because the first 3 issues of this run were 15, 16, and 17. This is actually issue number 2. And then the run started again with Haunt of Fear and went from issue 4 to issue 28. Now, the change came because it went along with the title of Gunfighter, and that's why we saw 3 random issues. They changed the title for 3 crazy issues that were amazingly difficult to find.
Well, we have an increase of $1,200 for a 7.0, selling back in 2020 for $857, up 145%. To say that these are having a renewed interest is an understatement. Now it's a new sale of $2,102. How does that price sound?
It sounds consistent to what's happening with all ECs right now.
Next on the list, at number 5, something that I think is going to be a surprise to many members, is a classic book that got the love that it deserved over this last year, partially due to the Disney Plus show. We have What If, number 1.
Yeah, these stories are great because they're not in canon. They're just what-if situations. We had the Disney show, which was just fun for us to see what could have been. And so we got to see that with this. What if Spider-Man joined the Fantastic Four?
This run started out in 1977 and has spiked royally. We have a 9.8 past July in 2021, selling for $1,300, up 140%. That's an increase of $1,800, selling for an all-new high of $3,120. Hot damn, comic fam! However, comic fam, this right here looks like it's an anomaly. When you pull up Heritage Auctions, you can see this March 7th sale of $3,100. Clearly it took place, but it seems like an outlier. When you consider the same day, there was another 9.8 that sold for $689, not to mention the fact that this book hasn't broken $1,000 all year long, and there are multiple listings on eBay where you can secure this comic in this grade for under $1,300. So I do not believe this book is worth $3,000. However, I definitely see the value in this key book. Next on the list at number 4, Silver Surfer number 1, seeing some monster gains. This right here is the first solo series of Silver Surfer, the origin of the Silver Surfer. We have the origin of the Watcher and the first appearance of Shalabal.
And another square bound book. Also very difficult because it's a black cover. The last one was a white one. So you'll see again, lots of damage. And it's a huge key.
Well, we have an 8.5, which are a bit more common than the higher grade copies. Probably would be more considered a tough book. Above what would you say?
Probably a 9.0 and above. I know it's just half a point, but that does make a difference.
Well, the 8.5 back in April 2021 landed at $5,500, and that's up 45%, selling for $8,000, an increase of $2,500. How does that feel?
God, it's so hard. I want to say this sounds like a lot of money for this book, but I can see the future of this book being so much brighter than it is. So I'm going to say, yes, I'm okay with this price.
All right, he's okay. You heard it here, comic fam. Hit the like, slap the subscribe. Don't forget to comment on you to win this Invincible number 1 Omni-Man Tyler Kirkham variant. And at the list at number 3, we got more gold. We got Frank Frazetta goodness.
You thought ECs were hot. Holy moly. Like, listen, Frazetta covers are obnoxious right now.
They're so hard, man.
And they've been undervalued for a long time. And you got to understand, Frazetta's cover work isn't that large. He didn't have a ton of comic book
He did
work.
a lot of books.
He did
book covers.
He did magazines. His career in magazines is huge. So for us to have any options for his comics is actually a pleasure. So the options are small, which means the buyer pool is larger because you have more people going after smaller books.
We got Buck Rogers, Famous Funnies, issue number 210.
This was a very long run, Famous Funnies. Okay, but the best part of it was the very end with Frank Frazetta's work from 209 to 216. Amazing covers, great sci-fi, great fantasy. You gotta love them.
Renowned.
And the prices show that. We just had a 9.4 last year, sell for $3,837. Now we see a 112% increase. $8,127. That's $4,290 more than the previous sale just last year.
That right there demonstrates the amount of growth our industry has had and the amount of investors who are hunting for these scarce comic books in high grade.
This isn't even one of the better ones of that number. I mean, there are 3 to 4 that are better than this that would sell probably 3 to 4 times that number.
Next on the list at number 2, FF number 50, because if you can't get the first 2 major FF keys, 48 and 49, you gotta go for When Johnny Storm Goes Off to College.
Classic battle of Silver Surfer versus Galactus. And Johnny Storm was smart. He's like, this is the perfect time to go to school. Get the hell out of this thing, all right? We got the third appearance of Silver Surfer. Second appearance of Galactus, a Jack Kirby cover. All right, we also have the first appearance of the Ultimate Nullifier.
You got to figure out a way to get Galactus taken care of in a short 3 issues. We have a 9.2 for this glorious poop brown cover. We have a $5,760 sale back in 2019, up 98%, selling for an increase of over $5,500, landing at $11,400. I got to say, I didn't see this one coming.
No, people love this cover. They do love this cover, but I didn't know they loved it that much.
Comic fam, if you like what we do, you want to support our show, hit the link in the description, go to comictom101.com, join the April mystery mail call, 1 per box. We have 2 different cover arts done of Something is Killing the Children 21 by the great Peach Momoko, going out at random, link in the description, and let's hit them with the #1 runners-up this week.
You got to reserve the #1 spot for the #1 sidekick in all of comics. Detective Comics number 38, first appearance of our boy wonder Robin, who's bursting on scene larger than life on the cover.
They knew that this was going to be a big deal. And yeah, we have some spec that he's going to be portrayed by someone in the upcoming Batgirl movie. We just had a Batman movie drop recently, and we have a new CW show that's largely going to focus on the younger members of the Bat family. But does any of that matter? Because this is just a ghost golden age grail.
I couldn't say it better myself. That is absolutely what this book is. Extremely coveted, extremely loved, and an early detective book when you think about it, because Batman just appeared in Detective Comics 27, so we're like 11 issues removed from his first appearance.
We have a 3.5 that sold in 2017 for $35,850. But we did check GPA and found a sale in 2020. This book dropped.
Yeah, something that you could have had for $35,000 in 2017 could have been bought 3 years later for $31,200.
And this past week, we're up since that last all-time record breaker set in 2017, an increase of 21% selling for an increase of $7,400, now landing at $43,250. Hot damn, comic fam. We appreciate your time today. Hit the like, slap the subscribe, comment. Do any of these books make you want to spec on other books? Help your fellow comic fam members. And as always,
geek responsibly.
Enough said. Comic fam, join myself, the Golden Age Guru, Gem Mint, Russ Bright, Skeleton Key Comics, Rage Theo, Nerdy Girl, shout out Danielle, my dad, every single Wednesday on the best new app to buy and sell collectibles, Whatnot. We take over the day starting at 2 o'clock. We go all the way till 9 o'clock doing dollar start auctions that last as little as 15 seconds long. We'll see you on the app, and take a look at these other videos. We made them for you. Have a great week.